Hello, this is Kate. I'm Woolly Faye. Welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we're going to be working this beautiful stitch pattern. I'm going to be using Stylecraft Life DK in the color Heather and a 3.5mm hook, but you can use whatever weight yarn or hook size that you have available to you. It's up to you. It will work with a variety of fibers. So you can use cotton or acrylic or whatever you have at your disposal. That will be fine. Now you're going to want to chain multiples of 4, and of course we're going to lose 1 stitch when we go into the back bump to chain. So the total amount that I'm going to have you chain is 40, but when we lose that stitch you're going to have a stitch count of 39. So if you want to set that up with just a regular foundation row, you're going to want to do a stitch count of 39 for this tutorial. But do remember, if you try to use it in a project, it is multiples of 4 plus 3 plus your extra stitch that you lose if you chain. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Create a slip knot and then chain 40. As I said, we will lose a chain when we go into the back bump, so that will leave us with 39 stitches. So chain 40, go ahead and pause your video and hit play when you're ready to resume. So if you've constructed your foundation chain, 40 chains, then you want to turn your work over and you're going to put a single crochet into every back bump on your chain. Now you're going to start with the second chain from the hook. That's why you lose a stitch. And if you're not sure how to do that, if you haven't seen this in my previous tutorials, then you're going to want to just kind of look at the side. 1, 2, that's the second chain, and if you turn it over, that bump will be your second back bump. So you'll have a flat side and then you'll have a side with bumps, and you're going to just slip your hook up under that second one, pull up a loop, and complete a single crochet. And you're just going to do that all the way down to the end, and when you're finished you should have a total of 39 stitches on your foundation row. So go ahead and hit pause and play when you're ready to resume, and we'll continue. So you should have 39 single crochet stitches in your foundation row, and I did forget to mention that this is US terminology. So if you're in the UK, do remember that a single crochet in the US is actually a double crochet for you. And a double crochet in the US is actually a treble crochet in the UK, and we call a treble crochet what you call a double treble crochet. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to do what we call an edge stitch or starting stitch here. And the way we're going to do it is to chain 1. We're going to put our finger over this loop, okay, right here, and just kind of pin it down. We're going to point our hook down and flip it underneath that chain, so it should look like this, okay? Then we're going to pull up a loop. And so what I do is I just move that in front, see, like that. Pull that loop up. There are 2 loops on the hook. I then insert my hook into the very first stitch on the row, pull up another loop. There are 3 loops on the hook, and then I yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to skip the next stitch and then put 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So let's yarn over, skip this stitch, and put the first double crochet in the one after. So there's our skip stitch right there. And then 2 more double crochet, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. So then what you want to do is wrap twice for a treble crochet. That'll be a double treble in the UK. You are now going to insert your hook into the front loop of that skip stitch. Let's get my fingernail there to help me. There we go. And you're going to finish the treble crochet. Now I'm bending my work a little bit here because it's so long, it's kind of awkward. There we go. And then you are going to skip the next stitch. Now when you go to skip that stitch, you just be sure and take a look at where your last stitch actually was. But you're going to skip that stitch and you're going to move into this one, okay, with a double crochet stitch or a treble if you're in the UK. Okay, and then 2 more, 1 in the 3 stitches. We're just repeating what we did. So there we go, 1 more, 3 double crochet stitches, 1 in each stitch. We have our skip stitch here. So we're going to wrap twice and put our treble crochet into the front loop of that stitch. Right, and then again, we're going to skip the next stitch. Be sure that you can locate where your last stitch was. Skip the next one, and then 1 double into the next 3 stitches. And once more, wrap twice and treble crochet into the front loop of that skip stitch. Okay. To continue to do that, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the following 3, a treble crochet in the skip stitch. Do that all the way, and when you get to the last one, you should have 2 stitches left. Wait on me and I'll show you what we do. So you don't want to repeat it after you've gotten to that last one, okay? You should have 2 stitches remaining. You're just going to wait on me on that, okay? Okay, so I have 3 double crochet stitches in the row, on the last end of the row, and I have 2 stitches remaining. I'm going to go ahead and do a treble crochet stitch into that front loop from the skip stitch, just like we did before. And then of course I'm not going to try to repeat that on these last 2 stitches. So what I'm going to do instead is skip this stitch just the way we would have. I'm going to wrap, insert my hook into that final stitch, and complete a double crochet stitch. I don't like the way that's pulling because I've only got it through 1 loop, so I'm going to do it again, and we're going to turn that work around. All right, and we're going to chain 1 and complete that edge stitch the way we did in the beginning. So you're going to put your finger on top of the loop and just kind of pin it, point the hook down and flip it back under so that the chain is laying on top right here, okay? Then you just kind of move that yarn in front of the hook, draw up a loop, just swing it back around, and then you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up another loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2, and then we're going to actually do a double crochet in every stitch all the way down. So we yarn over and go into the next, complete that double crochet treble if you're in the UK, into every single stitch. Just to be sure that you're on track, you may even want to count them. Now remember, this edge stitch is a little thicker than the other. Don't accidentally count it as 2, okay? That's 1 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, all right, 4, 5, and this is one I wanted to show you, okay? Sometimes, see how this is where we did the treble crochet and we kind of cabled it across to here. Well, sometimes that can be a little bit deceptive, so you just want to just kind of look at it on top and make sure you're just going through that stitch. It might kind of want to twist a bit or something, might not, but you want to just check on that if it looks a little wonky, and just make sure you're going right through the stitch. go. And then again, these are the 3 double crochet that we did. And again, you just want to, we'll get that one first. And you want to just kind of see how this one kind of looks like it's wanting to turn in a bit. Just kind of check and make sure that you're actually going through those 2 loops that make the stitch. You should be fine on that. It's nothing complicated, but it's just kind of a heads up sort of thing. Go ahead and hit pause. Continue putting your double crochet stitches all the way down, and then when you're finished, hit play and we'll resume. So you should have just put a double crochet all the way down, including the final stitch. It should look like this. Okay, and then you're going to turn this over, and again we're going to do our starting stitch the same way. We're going to chain 1 again. At your finger to pin that down over the top of the loop. You're going to down, flip under. That should be right there. We're going to swing back around. Let me do that again. Okay, swing back around. You should have 2 loops on the hook. Insert your hook into the first stitch. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. And once again, we repeat exactly what we did before. Now I'm going to go through this row with you again, and the back side one more time, and then from there it's just going to be a repeat again. So there's no need to keep doing it. You can build this, make this as long as you want, or as tall as you want. But let's just go ahead one more time and do it. We're going to yarn over, skip that first stitch, and we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So skip the first stitch and 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we're going to do 1 treble crochet into the skip stitch. Remember, just pick up that front loop. There we go. Get that 3. There we go. Looked a little wonky there, but we got it. Okay, and then we're going to skip the next stitch, and we're going to put 1 double crochet into the next 3 that follow it. Skip that stitch, and 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to wrap twice and treble crochet into that front stitch. Skip the next stitch and 1 double crochet in the 3 following stitches. Treble crochet into the skip stitch, front loop. And then again, skip the next stitch and double crochet into the 3 following stitches. You continue to do that all the way down, and then when we get to the end, of course, we'll go over those steps one more time. So hit pause and play when you're ready to resume. Right, so we're at the last 2 stitches. We're going to actually skip that stitch and do a double crochet into the final stitch. Now mine's kind of off, kind of sunk down here. So I'm going to just stick it in through the side and pull that up like that and turn it around. And one more time, we're going to do the edge stitch for our pattern. See how that looks by comparison. Oops, turn that over the right way. There we go. See. So these all should keep going in a straight line. If you ever see that they're off center, then you've gotten your stitch count off. That's how you're going to know. So we're going to go ahead now and do this one more time across the back real quick, just show you a little refresher on it. We're going to chain 1, pin that down with your finger, dip the hook down and back up so that this is laying on top, and then you're just going to pull up a loop You're going to have 2 loops on there. You're going to insert your hook into the first stitch, pull up another loop. There's 3 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And then you're just going to double crochet into every stitch on the back row, the back side, sorry. So you'll actually continue to do this, just 2-row repeat until you're ready to finish your project. So it should eventually start to look like this, only bigger. I always do my tutorials and swatches if at all possible. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to leave a comment or a thumbs up. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already, and share. And we'll see you the next time.